Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Scott Garber live from the inaugural Peak Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. Excited to highlight another amazing attendee, Eric Wilson from Sarasota, Florida. Eric, my man, how are you doing
I'm
today?
doing well, brother. How are you? Thanks for having me. I
Life
appreciate
is
it.
so good, man. We are full of just incredible founders, investors, executives, really helping shape the global sports landscape. Eric, what's been the most exciting thing from day one at Peak?
I think the biggest thing for me is just the energy that's in the room. You've got a lot of people here who are all connected via sports, via technology. But more importantly than that, it's about shaping the future of both of those things. So having this inaugural event here at the beautiful Fontainebleau Hotel in Las Vegas, I mean, it speaks volumes to the success of an organization such as Peak putting on a phenomenal event like this.
I love it. I couldn't agree more. Now, give me a little insight. You've been in the sporting industry for a really long time. I think you'll nod your head that we built in silos and not systems.
Yeah.
What is the feeling that you provoke when you get 1,300 people together and you start to see where the industry's going? Are you excited? Are you optimistic? What's that feeling that you're getting?
I feel the mind shift has changed. We're going from the age of the eye test to the age of technology because of all the data that years and years and decades has been just taken and brought into this new system.
Sure.
It's so much easier for us now to look at an athlete, to look at an organization, to look at a system and not look at its flaws, but look at its areas of opportunity to say, okay, how do we grow? So coming out of those silos and forming a true ecosystem. And you're looking at it not just from an athlete's perspective, but you're looking at it from a business perspective. Because as you and I know, today, it's about the branding.
Yep.
It's about what are you bringing your audience to my platform. How is it helping both of us grow?
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the best things that Peak is offering right now. It's the opportunity to share networks. It's the opportunity to share conversation, but also let's look at what the future holds. And I'm not talking about 3 to 5. I'm not even talking about 1 to 3. I'm talking about 12 to 18 months where we're going to evolve and be on that next level.
I couldn't agree with you more. And, I think one of the most important things when we talk about, using this sport platform is building community, right? And you host a podcast, you're involved in a ton of incredible ventures. Talk to me about the sentiment and the growth of the sports community from when you started to now seeing institutional investors, to seeing Silicon Valley technology. Just talk to me about the growing up of the industry. And as we look into the future, 12, 18, 24 months, what's got you most excited?
I think the most exciting thing that I have right now is just the ability to know that when you combine sports and technology, two things that were not really too far from it, but at one time, sports had its own lane.
Yep.
Technology had its own lane. But now the merger, if you will, not necessarily acquisition, but the community building of both, to say we are going to make sure that athletes not only are healthy, but they are also driven to move into this space and be faster, be stronger, be better, have a longer tenure in whatever sport they desire.
Absolutely.
The thing that most gets me up in the morning and gets me so just excited about this is the simple fact that I don't know how old you are. I can only assume that you're a young man in your mid-30s, but as someone who is about to turn 50, watching the evolution of sports and watching the evolution of technology. I mean, I grew up where the desktop was what everybody wanted, and now everything is in the palm of our hand. The same thing with sports. We grew up with 1 or 2 or maybe 3 highlighted godlike athletes, if you will. Sure. Today, across so many platforms, not just football, not just baseball, not just basketball, tennis, golf, UFC, the PGA, everything is just, we are creating so much. How do we take it all in?
Yeah.
And we're taking it all in thanks to conferences like this, thanks to people like you and organizations that are saying it's no longer about divide, it is about togetherness.
I couldn't agree more. And we believe at Profluence, at Peak, that competition is meant for the pitch, right? But the business needs to be aligned in order to go ahead and not only create a better product, but create a foundation for future generations to be able to take advantage of this great parallel that runs alongside life called sport.
Yeah.
Last question for you.
Sure.
We're getting the chance to listen and learn from so many elite folks across the global landscape. What's one thing that you've learned in day one that you didn't know coming into today?
Wow. That's I think that's a pretty loaded question because I've learned so much just in a few breakout sessions. But I will say this. The elevation of women's sports.
Ooh.
That is something that people need to stand up and pay attention to because it is no longer about just the male dominance. The women in sports, if you look at the last, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years, has really shown a light. And as an investor, as a fan, or as someone who just loves the world of sports itself, you have got to commit yourself to this because I'm telling you what, the old saying goes, high tide rises all ships. That's where we're going with women's sports. And again, we're not talking about 3 to 5. We're not talking about 2 to 3. Watch what happens just in the simple math between where we're at today and the Olympics coming up in Los Angeles in 2 years.
Yep.
Watch how the impact of women's sports plays a huge contributing factor.
Well, and as a proud girl dad, it is absolutely incredible to be able to go ahead and have a little agency in coming in and helping shape what the future of sports will look like to create a more fun and equitable environment for all of us to take advantage of this amazing asset class that we call sports.
Yeah.
Eric, thank you so much for everything you're doing in this space.
Appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing you next year.
Yeah, definitely. Look forward. Thank you.